Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's EduTV program titled Shaping Young Minds, the Future of STEM, AI, and Robotics in Schools. We are here to discuss how the transformative fields of STEM, AI, and robotics are shaping the future of education and preparing our students for a world of endless possibilities. Just a little something about EduTV. We have over a million eyes over 28 countries at the moment, and we have about so please subscribe to our channel, of course. Right now, I am extremely delighted to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Dinisha Bhardwaj Singh, Principal of Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad. Dr. Singh is a dedicated educational leader with over 25 years of experience and is passionate about the potential of these cutting edge fields in shaping the minds of young students. My name is Teji Kishle. I am a 12th grade student from Delhi Public School, Bangalore East, and I will be leading this insightful conversation. And we are so excited to hear Dr. Singh's thoughts on how these technologies can empower the next generation of learners. So, ma'am, my first question for you is, how do you believe STEM education can be integrated with holistic learning approaches in schools?
Thank you, Teji. Thank you so much. And I'm delighted that kids are getting insightful to know more, add value, and take the journey forward. That's actually helping the educators because when you have the inculcated thought process, it becomes easy to inculcate the novelty. Well, just correcting my name, I'm Captain Dr. Dinisha Bhardwaj Singh. And coming back to your question, how does STEM uh, go for? Can you repeat the question so that I can be exact in answering?
Yes, absolutely. So, how do you believe that STEM education can be integrated with holistic learning approaches in schools?
Well, I think first thing which I would like to say that STEM is part of our system in one or the other way. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's how it goes. And now, moving forward, when we are talking about competency based learning, when we are talking about scientific ways of learning, when we are talking about holistic development of brain, taking care of multiple intelligence, if formally, as of now, we are doing it informally, and various organizations are involving and adding STEM into their system of education, the way it becomes adaptable, the way it becomes accessible. And it is working in one or the other way. Even the board has come forward to talk a lot and nurturing the education system by value addition of STEM. But being specific to your question, if we formally integrate this, it will be a very well structured path for three things I would specifically highlight. One is the nurturing of thought process. Second is widening the horizon and keeping the gateways open for all the students. And third is this integration will help scientific integration of various subjects, irrespective of sciences, so that a well designed and well thought after a process of education can be taken forward. So if we integrate, though informally, I think we are doing integrating and much more, but formally, if we integrate, that will be really, really helpful to students in specific and educationists in general, because the purpose for which we talk and we talk about globalization of education, we talk about nurturing the educationists in a certain way, that will automatically be taken care of.
That's a very interesting viewpoint, ma'am. But what about AI tools? So, how do you think AI tools can help students nurture, creativity and critical thinking skills?
Well, as far as AI tools are concerned, again, I think the amount of AI tool, the number of AI tools the students are using informally in education, they don't find formal space in the world of education. Uh, when we talk about using small things like chat gpt, or we can call it big things like chat gpt, in either of the perspective, I think the students are actually using it. Whereas we in the system of education, especially in schools and even in universities, especially in India, we kind of give it a question mark, because whenever there is a topic, there is a question which comes about creating content, we still thinks that the ideology of going to library or hunting for the topic to add value addition to your knowledge works better, or should be the ideal way of working. And we kind of consider it, oh, you might have written it from chat gpt. Whereas, if it is formally understood, formally received well as a tool, as a support system, as a value enhancing scientific structure, then probably it will help us to start a takeoff from where we are standing and thinking to walk, and thus it will help us. I was interacting with somebody in a foreign university, and they had a structured way of using AI. They had permitted students to use AI in the day-to-day routine of learning, teaching, and also when they create content. Whereas in our country, we probably find it that it is a kind of not a, I won't use the word which in general it is understood that way, but I would just like to say that it is taken as not being very honest if we are using AI as a tool, whereas it is like a huge library coming to your home. It is not important how do you take the content from there. It is important that when you take the content from there, it is an advice. Somebody as an elder who's advising to you, somebody who is it's a plethora of collective books and ideologies which is coming your gateway. Yes, when we talk about integrating AI to as a tool in our education system, we need to train both our educators as well as our students. Why to train? Because when we train them, then we should also talk about how to use this. As of now, we know where it is and where to use it. We know when to use it, but probably how part is we know technical how to use it, but we probably don't know the tactical and ethical part of using it. So thus we need to, going back to your question, integrate it in for all purposes with a formal integration where how, when, where, and ethical part is included, and thus generalizing the use so that the benefits are reaped in true sense, and we don't take it as an invader to our system, rather, we take it as a support to our system, and thus, this way, we can raise the level of teaching, learning, raise the level of creating content, and simultaneously things will become easy because it will work as a time saving tool. So integrating robotics, your STEM, as well as integrating AI will work as a kind of a revolutionary, it will come out as a revolutionary step in the field of education.
Thank you so much for that answer, ma'am. What about impact? So, what impact have you seen, okay, that extracurricular activities have, like robotics clubs, on students' engagement and learning?
Amazing impact. I'm sure you also, if you are a science student, might have enjoyed STEM classes or robotics classes much more than the theory classes of subjects which are happening in regular school. Children have got a different level of excitement when we offer these classes. There are parents who look forward for such classes in schools, because what happens is uh, it leads to active learning. Robotics adds to your adrenaline level. You are creating your own robots. You are making them participate in certain events. We are creating, children are creating robots for competitions. They are using AI to nurture that system further. They are using whatever they have learned in STEM to accelerate the processes. And as a result, there are multiple mental faculties which are getting channelized simultaneously. your motor system, your neuro system, your various kind of intelligence, depending upon what is more, what is less in your body. But by all means, kinesthetic pays and plays a greater role. So ultimately, when all the three, when we talk about AI is a great support, STEM is a brainstorming ideology, and it I think it is not away from the regular content and teaching learning. Whereas robotics is an excitement, it's hands-on thing. It is, when we talk about Bloom's taxonomy, it takes us to the analysis and synthesis. When we talk about analyzing certain things and synthesizing, that's how we do in robotics. That's how the things are created. That's how AI is utilized as a mentor, as a virtual mentor to support the students. So overall, if I sum it up, then all these three support systems are great help to educators as well as to the students of modern era, because what we look forward as a holistic personality coming out of a child, when we think the child will be passing out from school, these three things will be helping in a great way to shape that personality.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, since you've mentioned STEM as well as AI, what strategies do you think schools can adopt to train teachers in effectively delivering STEM and AI content?
Well, STEM, the trainings and enhancement is happening. I think almost all the good schools it is happening. AI, I should not say I'm sure, but I feel that it is not touched in any of the schools. So we need to look into, and robotics is also happening. Because depending upon the ideology of the school, either it is a robotics club or it is part of the system or subsystem. So STEM in robotics is still functional. AI is not touched upon. So there is a requirement of formal induction of AI into red education system. It should start with training of teachers, and this training should not just become a ritual that call anybody who knows and who takes down the content from AI itself and just blabbers the content to the teachers, and teachers listen to it and then they again do the same thing. No, I am not talking about this kind of training. First, we need to draw objectives for what purpose we need to bring in AI. Then we should walk backwards. This is the purpose, these are the expected objectives. Then this is what is the transformation we want to bring in our children, or what is the limit or usage of AI which we are thinking to bring in amongst school children. And then back to teachers, testing them, what is the training need identification and training need analysis. We call in the language of training TNI and TNA. Has to be done in a stringent way, walking back from the learning objectives to TNI and TNA, and then hunting for the well structured and well trained agencies, whether we have in India or we need to get it from those schools which are using it here or abroad, and then we need to bring in. It should not be taken as mere ritual. It has to be taken as a strategy, as a tactics, to in army language we call it tactics, to bring the desired change. And I am very, very sure if we bring it that way, it will get the real transformation in the field of learning.
Earlier, ma'am, you had talked about the ethics. Now, how do you think schools can educate these students about the ethical implications of AI and robotics?
This should be part of first teachers training, because as I said, we need to start with learning objectives. Why do we want to bring AI? Where the ethics are? I mean, if I give a simple example, uh, there is a topic given to you as a student and you put it in chat GPT and bring out a wonderful essay, and similar topic is given to another student, he or she also brings in little bit of transformation or change because of the words. So this is not learning. And when it is not what is expected, is not ethical. So how the ethics will bring in? There have to be SOPs which need to be created. Uh, Talking about the learning objective, back to the expected learning, back to the teachers for the training, and these SOPs will become part of the process, thus involving and including what is expected ethic here, and what is to be involved, what is to be incorporated and what not. And thus that will help in a big way. So the ethics will come when we design the process. And when we design the process, we can always do brainstorming as to this is correct, this I expect as an educator, this I don't expect as an educator. We may, to be on fairer side, we can involve some students as to what do you say. Maybe to me or my thought, there is something else is ethic, whereas you as a student, you think, no, ma'am, this is not unethical. This goes well. So we can always do the brainstorming. It has to be true, real brainstorming, and then we should think of bringing it back to the society.
That was a very thought-provoking answer, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Could you perhaps share some examples of student-led projects in STEM that have been particularly impactful in your school?
Well, we invite so many projects. We have multiple such events which we in where we invite even the students of other schools at all the levels. You'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised to know that we invite these groups right from second onwards for the primary wing also, but small Legos and all. And then we have for the middle school, and we have for the senior school. And there were wonderful projects which had come forward, which had been shared by children. They caught attention of the media also, where the robots are fighting, where the robots are creating something, or where the content is created in such a way that that became actually an eye opener for the system. So I think the list is long, and one has to, and you will find a lot on our web page, on our Instagram page also, because whatever achievement a child does, I make sure that it goes on social media, and child and the other children also can get benefited out of it. So there is a lot which can be viewed and which can be learned from each other on this. The purpose is, where we started, every day there should be a next step taken forward.
That's so nice, ma'am. How does your school prepare students further to become future leaders in STEM fields?
Uh, when we say future leaders, it means there has to be a situation given to the leader. Leaders are never prepared, leaders are nurtured. So it means you have it in army. We say one more sentence. You are a young girl, in case by any chance you or your friend are interested in armed forces. There is advertisement which comes which says, "Do you have it in you?" So as a leader, I also think and give this opportunity to the child and everybody that do you have it in you? If you have it, we will nurture from here. If you do not have it, you may think you don't have it. I don't believe as an educator that and no one anyone does not have anything which can bring him as a future leader. So what we do is we bring the child to a situation, or then add situations, and just allow me to sip of water, take a sip of water, and thus the child takes on from there. So we give multiple opportunities. Now, what can these opportunities be? The competitions, MUNs, such events where the child is thinking. Because when you think, you create an option. When you think, you create an opportunity. When you think, you can think of leading. So any such thing where we make the child think rather than just absorb is the first step to make the child leader. And then every next step for the second child will be different, because every child is unique. So there, from second step onwards, we pick up the qualities of children, and then accordingly they are nurtured. And it's an easy process. It looks very cumbersome that how I have almost 5,500 students in my school. How do I nurture each student? It is a very easy process, because it is just a switch which has to be pressed at the beginning, and things take off automatically. It's a very interesting process, and it is understood when the child starts leading and does not know that the child is leading, and that's a true value addition.
That's extremely inspiring, ma'am, to see how you're making sure that each student is looked after. My last question for you is this. How important do you think is global collaboration in advancing STEM education, and what initiatives can schools undertake?
Global collaboration is important for everything, because unless we collaborate globally, probably either we will be less or they will be less, isn't it? So global collaboration is very important. And by now these days, after COVID, the virtual world is a great gateway for global collaboration. Cheapest way, easiest way, fastest way we can collaborate, and we had been doing it uh, through virtual exchange programs with the different countries, and they are doing it with us. uh, just one thing which I want to say here: global collaboration doesn't mean only receiving. Global collaboration is giving, and my children of my country are smart enough and received well by the world. When we collaborate, then we come to know. So let's move forward. Let children like you can take a step forward along with the schools, and this global collaboration will lead to a world which is good for all, friendly for all, and progressing with all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Singh, for sharing your valuable insights with us today. Your thoughts on integrating STEM, AI, and robotics into education have been enlightening, and we are so grateful for the inspiration you have provided to both students and educators. I would also like to thank Mr. Pranav and Ms. Tanya, the co-founders of EduTV, for having given us all this opportunity. And on behalf of EduTV and all our viewers, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Singh and everyone who joined us today. We look forward to continuing this important conversation at some point of time. Thank you all and have a wonderful day ahead. And don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you
Wonderful,
so much.
KG. You were simply amazing. God bless you, Vita.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I remember I messed up in the beginning and I was trying
No
so hard.
worries. It's nothing mess up,
We
nothing
are,
called messed up.
Teji, we are online.
We're all
Thank you, Captain Dr. Dinisha. And thank you, Dr. Manila Carvalho, Principal, Delhi Public School East, Bangalore. And Captain Dr. Dinisha, Teji, she has been helping me when I never met her. She was in Malaysia. She was heading a school in Malaysia.
Which school you were in?
Yeah. Teji,
Which,
question for you.
Vita,
Oh,
which school were you in Malaysia?
No. I'm saying Captain helped me when she was
Okay,
in
I
Malaysia.
thought she was in Malaysia, so I was trying to connect with her.
She's in
Okay,
the uh, Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore.
okay. Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
everyone. God bless you.
Just a second.